All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again this week. It's a great honor for me to get to speak to you, as it is every week. I got to see some of you guys this week at day camp, and that was awesome. It was so nice to be able to get back together again and have some fun and be outside together. I also got to see some of you at church on Sunday, and that was wonderful as well. And I hope this week that we'll be able to meet outside, and I'll see you again soon. Last week actually, we started a new series, a series on the book of Proverbs. Do you guys remember what we said a proverb was? I'll tell you what, take a second and talk with your mom or dad or whoever you're watching the video with and see if any of you, or together maybe, you can remember what we said a proverb was. All right. I hope you were able to remember or figure it out. We defined last week, the definition we used for proverb was a short statement to help us make decisions that lead to a good life. So it's a short statement that helps us to make decisions that lead to a good life. And so last week we talked about our first proverb. For the next few weeks we're going to be talking about different proverbs. And last week we talked about a proverb that said that it was better to listen to advice than to argue with people. And we read a story about that and learned a little bit about that. This week we're going to look at another proverb from Proverbs 13:4. So what I'd like you to do is read it, because I think it's really cool for you to look it up and read it out of your Bible. So I want to stop again. You can pause the video here for a second. I want you and whoever's watching the video with you to take a second and find a Bible and look up Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4, and read it. All right? And then come back and start the video again. All right, now I'm going to read Proverbs 13:4 as well. The words I say may be a little different from the ones you read. It depends on what version of the Bible, what translation of the Bible that you're reading from. But the meaning will be very close to the same. So listen to this. This is Proverbs 13:4. People who refuse to work hard want things and they get nothing. But the longings of people who work hard are completely satisfied. So this proverb is telling us that hard work will help us to have a good life. Being a hard worker is more likely to help us to have a good life than being lazy and not being willing to work. Hard work is important. I bet you've heard that. Now, I'm not saying hard work is easy. Sometimes it's hard to be a hard worker, isn't it? I want to think for a second, and I bet you can think of some work that you just really don't like doing. Can you think of something like that? I can. There's some chores some kinds of work I really don't like doing. I, for instance, do not like grading papers. So some of you don't know this, but in addition to teaching and working here at the church, I also teach at a local school, and I have to grade papers. It's part of my job, and I do it, but I do not like grading papers. It is hard work for me. It's very easy for me to find reasons to put it off. But if I'm going to enjoy the best life possible, I know that working hard, including doing things I don't like grading papers, is important. I have a story that I'm going to read to you that just kind of illustrates this proverb, Proverbs 13:4. And I think maybe it'll help you to understand how important it is to keep working, even when the work is hard, or we don't feel like it, or we'd rather be doing something else. All right, here we go. The book is called The 19th of McQuirk, and it's by Aaron Reynolds, the same author as the book last week. The 19th of McQuirk, Aaron Reynolds. Proverbs 13:4. People who refuse to work want things and get nothing, but the longings of people who work hard are completely satisfied. On the 17th day in the month of McQuirk, deep in the leaves of the forest of Gurk, two caterpillars who were both hard at work. See, the month of McQuirk, as everyone knows, is cocoon building season for caterpillars. For 17 days, they had worked hard and fast, each trying to make a cocoon that would last. There was still much work to do. There was much to be done. After all, cocoon making isn't always much fun. Then the one on the right stopped his work and he said, "I'm bored with this work. I want to play now instead." Now, there's nothing so bad about taking a rest. It's a smart thing to do when you're giving your best. But a worm who thinks building cocoons is a bore might miss some surprises that could be in store. So after 17 days, the one on the right began to complain, and he started to gripe. "I'm tired of this, tired of hanging around, tired of spinning this silky stuff round and around. I want a long break and a great big vacation. My back has got aches from this lame occupation. A snack's what I need, and a nap, and a rest. Then tomorrow I'll start back to work quite refreshed." So the one on the right snuggled down into bed, while wonderful butterfly dreams filled his head. And the sun set on the forest of Gurk. The one on the left side was still hard at work. In the midst of the morn on the very next day, the air was quite drizzly, the sky was quite gray, when the caterpillar on the right, still in bed, looked out from his bed at the day, and he said, "What a rottenest day, so rainy and gray. If I were a butterfly, I'd flutter away. Well, someday I'll be one. I'll change head to feet inside that cocoon that I need to complete." But a day that is rainy is spent better instead, relaxing with covers pulled over your head. And this rainy gray day in the forest of Gurk, the 18th day of the month of McQuirk, found one caterpillar sleeping and one still hard at work. The next day, morning was shiny and bright, when up woke the caterpillar on the right. But the one on the left now was nowhere in sight. "Where has he gone?" said the right one. "Could she be somewhere off taking a break without me? If she's taking breaks on this 19th of McQuirk, then I too deserve a nice break from my work." So that bug on the right, feeling quite justified, took another day off, snuggled deep down inside. The one on the left, where it is she's been? Well, I'm sure that you've guessed. She was hidden within, inside her cocoon. That was her location. She was there going through butterflyification. And as the sun set on the 19th of McQuirk, in the still of the eve in the forest of Gurk, the one on the left had completed her work. Now, a caterpillar in the forest of Gurk must be in its cocoon in the month of McQuirk on the 19th day, not a single day later, or it won't change inside its cocoon changeulator. This is something our lazy friend here on the right doesn't know, but I bet he'll know after tonight. For the very next day, on the very next morn, he woke up to the sound of cocoon being torn. And lifting his covers, he saw quite a sight. He saw his old neighbor with wings taking flight. "You're the caterpillar. You're a butterfly now. I see it, but I'm not believing it. How?" She looked down and said, "Just by simple hard work, my cocoon was complete by the 19th of McQuirk." The other one griped, "It's completely unfair that I'm still just me while you fly in the air. I was cheated, ripped off. I was brought to a halt. My cocoon isn't done, but it isn't my fault." Then the new butterfly just fluttered away, for she had no reason to feel bad on that day. But that sad caterpillar, the one on the right, stayed angry and fussy long into the night. He blamed many things, his neighbor, the rain. He made his excuses, though he was to blame. And he never did change, for he'd slept through the work to build his cocoon by the 19th of McQuirk. There's nothing so bad about taking a rest. It's a smart thing to do when you're giving your best. But a worm who thinks building cocoons is a bore might miss out some surprises that could be in store. A bug who just sleeps instead of working should know he should get used to being a caterpillar. There we go. There's the end. All right. There you go. So I thought that was a good story to illustrate this proverb, Proverbs 13:4, and how important it is that we choose hard work over laziness, even when it's hard, and it is hard sometimes. All right, so I want to encourage you guys so that you can enjoy the best life possible. Right? Choose to be hard workers. It is a better way to live. All right. And I thanks again for tuning in, and hope to see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.